Hello beautiful people, it's me B and I'm here with my tea, and today we're going to be doing something new. So today I'm going to be doing B Reads, and that's where I read a book and I review it and I tell you guys about it. And most of the books that I'm going to be reviewing are going to be books by or about minorities. So that's going to be queer people, people of color, people with disabilities, mental health issues, anything like that. So if you have any book recommendations you'd like me to review, then I can do that. But for today, I already have one, and it is Honey Girl. I love this book. It's by Morgan Rogers, and I'm just going to read the back because I'm not very good at giving descriptions without spoiling things. So I'm going to read the back and then I'll tell you a little bit about it and how I feel about it and what I think. So, with her newly completed PhD in astronomy in hand, Grace Porter goes on a girls' trip to Vegas to celebrate. She's a straight-A, hard-working high achiever. She is not the kind of person who goes to Vegas and gets drunkenly married to a woman whose name she doesn't know. Until she does exactly that. This one beautiful, spontaneous moment upends Grace's carefully laid life plans. Staggering under the weight of her parents' expectations, a struggling job market, and feelings of burnout, Grace flees her home in Portland for a summer in New York with the wife she barely knows. In New York, she's able to ignore all the constant questions about her future and falls hard for her creative and gorgeous wife, Yuki Yamamoto. But when reality comes crashing in, Grace must face what she's been running from all along. The fears that make us human and the need for connection, especially when navigating the messiness of adulthood. I love this book. So first of all, let me just talk about the author. Morgan Rogers. She is a queer black millennial. That's what it says in the description. And she writes books for queer girls who are looking for their place in the world. She lives in Maryland with her pets. Honey Girl is her debut novel. So this is her first book. She did great for a first book. Props to her. So let me tell you why I love this book. Because honestly, I was trying to be non-biased and see if I could find fault in it, but I also read it and then immediately wanted to do this review on it because I loved it so much. So I haven't reread it to see if there are maybe some things she could have done better with, but the first time around I usually do pay attention to detail because I'm just that kind of person when I read. I didn't find anything. Reason number 1 through 4 why I love this book is the author. She's black, she's queer, she's a female, and she's from Maryland. It's like everything I ever wanted.
It's beautiful.
But no, seriously, that's literally the first reason I love, the first 4 reasons why I love this book is the author alone. That's gonna keep me wanting more. And then it goes on to the actual book itself and the content. So the main character, she is female. I love a female main character. Call me what you want. She's an adult. It's very rare that you find in a good adult queer novel. It's most of them are young adult books. And that's not to say that those aren't great. Those are great, but this is geared toward an adult audience and young adults can read it, but it's geared toward adults. And she is 29, I believe, or she's turning 29. I think she's 28 turning 29. So it's geared toward adults. So I really love that. The main character is she's black, but she's mixed. So her father is black and her mother is white. So it deals with mixed cultures. And she also has a military background. Her father was in the military, so there's that. So that's a really cool and interesting thing that someone else might be able to relate to. And she is in STEM. We love women in STEM. I love that. So a black woman in STEM at that. So that's another reason that just the main character is also awesome. It also mentions, you know, being black in STEM and how no matter how hard you work, black and queer in STEM, because no matter how hard you work, just being those things puts you in a place where people don't accept you, where it's hard to get a place. Like, they mention that, and I think that's really cool, because it's true, it's honest, and sometimes people may not notice that. And her, wait, I cannot spoil anything, so I'm gonna leave that out. I was gonna say something, but I don't want to spoil it. I just want you all to read it and see for yourself. The book is sort of a coming of age in more so the steps of dealing with adulting. So this book is like what happens with adulting, like reality, like it's honest. And they talk about mental health. In the description it mentioned burnout, and burnout is a thing. Burnout is real, and we don't pay attention to it enough. Like, people need breaks. It's okay to take a break. It's okay to not do anything sometimes. It's okay. It doesn't make you a failure. It doesn't make you lesser than. You need to rest. Like, it's normal. It's okay. You don't have to do everything in a day. You don't have to do everything in a moment. If you're taking 5 minutes to yourself, if you're taking 30 minutes to yourself, if you're taking a whole day to yourself, that's okay, because when you wear yourself out always trying to do something, you're running on nothing. You need to replenish your energy, your time, your health, like your sleep. You need to replenish. Like, you can't be, oh, if I'm awake, I have to be doing something. That is something that we have to stop telling ourselves, because that's very damaging. It's like, you will realize the difference in yourself when you actually give yourself a break and a chance to breathe. Like, you'll be more productive. But that's me ranting. But like I said, I really like this book because they do mention mental health, and also, just trigger warning, they do discuss self-harm. So if that is something that triggers you, please be careful when you're reading this book. There are small signs that will tell you that it's coming up to mentioning it, but it's not like a specific warning before the passage or before that chapter that's going to happen in that chapter. So just be aware if that is something that you know that you need to pay attention to or be careful with when you're reading, then do be careful. But I do love this book. I highly recommend it for anyone, like anyone. You don't have to be black, you don't have to be queer, you don't have to be a female to relate to this. There's also really good representation and diversity in this book. And the fact that the author goes into develop the secondary characters well enough that I'm gonna speak for myself, that I would like and fully enjoy other books mentioned like with them as the main characters. That is awesome. Like, the secondary characters are very well developed. They are not just background noise for the book. So that's also something she did a very good job with. This is just like a raving review and just me like fangirling over this book. But like I said, I recommend this for anyone. Even if you can't relate to anything, it's a great way to see another perspective and be exposed to another view and see what certain people go through. It is fiction, but there are some facts in here. So please read it. Do yourself a favor and read this, because you too will also find something to like about this book, I assure you. And if you don't, I challenge you to read it and then try and find something. I don't think you will, because this is a really good book, but like I said, everyone, it's my opinion.
How do you
what's good for me. That's my opinion!
That's my opinion, and you can't hold me for it. Read this book. Tell me what you think. Comment down below if there are any other books you would like me to read and review, because you want to know if you should read it or you've already read it and you want to see what I think. But please read this book. Do yourself a favor. Anyway, hope y'all have a great day and enjoy. Good vibes only. I'm putting this in as bloopers because this is terrible. Boo, shaboo, boo doo boo doo boo. Read this book and grab your favorite drink. I like tea. Today is some great tea. People, I don't know. Maybe do people talk? Maybe do people. Hey, it's me, B. If you like what you see, then just subscribe.